Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Exp19 Excel Chapter 5 Cap Assessment Travel. We can move to the question 5. Exp19 Excel Chapter 5 Cap Assessment Travel. If you want to complete assignment or exam, you can contact on my WhatsApp link and email. If you want to complete MylTLab courses, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Access, we can do online courses, accounting, math, stat, finance, and other courses. So we can move to the step number 1. So the step number 1 is start the Excel, download and open the file name Exp19 Excel Chapter 5 Cap Assessment Travel. Grader has automatically added your last name to the beginning of the file name. Go to the Excel worksheet. Step number 1 is complete. We move to the step number 2. So the step number 2 is before using the subtotal command, you must first sort of data on the subtotal worksheet. Go to the subtotal worksheet. Sort the data by employees and further sort by category, both in alphabetical order. Sort the data by employee and further by category. Go to the Excel worksheet. Go to the data tab. Select the sort and group. Sort the data by employees. Add a label and by employees. And the further sort by category. Add a label, sort by category, and both in alphabetically order. Order is A to Z. Click OK. Step number 2 is complete. We move to the step number 3. So the step number 3 is you want to subtotal the data to calculate expenses by the employees, and use the subtotal feature to insert a subtotal row by the employees to calculate the total expenses by the employees. Go to the Excel worksheet. Select the data tab for Ghost group. Outline group. Go to the subtotal. Select the range and subtotal. Subtotal feature insert a subtotal row expenses to calculate the total expenses by employee. So the at each change is employees and calculate the total expenses by employees. Choose the function is sum function. Calculate the sum function. Calculate the total sum function. Start the subtotal apply to the calculate the total expenses by the and add a subtotal is expenses. Deselect the category. Click OK. So the step number 3 is complete. We move to the step number 4. So the step number 4 is now you want to hide the detail for the two employees and focus on the detail for the remaining employees. Collapse the Davidson and Miller section to show only their total. Leave the other employees to individual row display. Go to the Excel worksheet. Collapse the button. Over total and ground total display the. So the step number 4 is complete. We move to the step number 5. So the step number 5 is for more detailed analysis, you are ready to create a pivot table. Use the expenses worksheet to create a blank pivot table on a new worksheet named Summary. Use the default report layout for the pivot table. Name the pivot table is category. When creating the pivot table, do not select the option add this data label. Use the expenses worksheet. Go to the expenses worksheet. A blank pivot table on a new worksheet name is a summary. Go to the insert tab, pivot table, from the table and range in the new worksheet, click OK. New worksheet name is summary. Copy the name, rename the sheet 1. Press enter button. Use the default report layout for the pivot table. Name the pivot table is category. Copy the pivot table name. Go to the pivot table design, pivot table analyze, and take the pivot table. Pivot table name is categories. Press enter. When creating the pivot table, do not select the option add this data to the data model. So the step number 5 is complete. Go to the step number 6. We can move to the step number 6 is you want to include the category and expenses field in the pivot table. Use the category and expenses field, enabling Excel to determine where the field go in the pivot table. Use the category and expenses field. Category and use the category and expenses, enabling Excel determine where the field go to the pivot table. Select the category and expenses. So the step number 6 is complete. We can move to the step number 7. So the step number 7 is you want to display average expense instead of total. Modify the value field to determine the average expenses by category. Change the custom name as average expenses. Modify the value field to determine the average expenses by category. Go to the Excel worksheet. Value field to determine the average expenses by category. Average by category. Expenses, the average by category. Change the custom name is expenses to the category. Go to the sum of value field setting. Average. Change the custom name to average expenses. Pin and click OK. So the step number 7 is complete. We can move to the step number 8. So the step number 8 is format the value field with the accounting number format. Format the value field with the accounting number format. Value field to the go to the value field setting, number format, accounting number format, accounting number format type, and click OK. Again click OK. So the step number 8 is complete. Go to the step number 9. So the step number 9 is you want to display the meaningful label and select the different layout. Type the category cell A3. Copy the category in cell A3 is paste. A3 is press enter, and the grand total layout option row only. Go to the pivot table analyze, design tab, and layout option on a for row only. On a for row only. Grand total layout on a row for only. Go to the grand tab, total on a for row only. Click OK. So the step number 9 is complete. We can move to the step number 10. So the step number 10 is apply a light blue pivot style dark 2 and display the banded row. apply the light blue pivot style dot 2. Go to the design tab, pivot table style, and apply the light blue pivot style dot 2. Light blue pivot table style dot 2. Light blue pivot style dot 2. Light blue pivot style dot 2. Light blue pivot style dot. Click OK and display the banded row. Go to the design tab, display the banded row. Click the banded row. So step number 10 is complete. We can move to the step number 11. So the step number 11 is to make it easy to filter the pivot table result, you will insert and format a slicer. Go to the insert a slicer for the employees field, change the slicer height 2 inches and apply the light blue slicer style dark 5. Insert a slicer employees field. Go to the insert tab, select the slicer and click the employees field. Click the employees field and click OK. Change the slicer height to the 2. Slicer height is 2. Go to the slicer and height is 2. Type a 2, press enter button and apply the light blue slicer style dark 5. Slicer, apply the slicer style. Light blue slicer style dark 5. Go to the slicer tab, slicer style group, apply the light blue slicer style dark 5. Light blue slicer style dark, light blue slicer style dark 5 or dark color, light blue slicer style dark. Click OK and move the slicer so that the upper left corner in cell A10. Move and drag the slicer. Upper left corner is A10. So step number 11 is complete. So the next step is step number 12. Step number 12 is you want to insert another pivot table to analyze the data on the expenses worksheet. Go to the expenses worksheet. Use the expenses worksheet to create another blank pivot table on a sheet name is total. Expenses worksheet to create another blank pivot table on a sheet name is total. Go to the insert tab, pivot table for table range. Sorry. Go to the recommended pivot table, blank pivot table. Copy the sheet name is total and sheet 2 is right click, rename, name is total, press enter button. Use the default report layout for the pivot table part. Name the pivot table is employees. Copy the pivot table name and pivot table third is rename pivot employees. Press enter. Add the employees to row and the expenses field to value area. Sort the pivot tables largest to smallest expenses. So the employees to the row area. Click employees to the row area. Employees to the row area. And add the expenses field to the value area. Expenses field to the value area. Go to the expenses field, select the value area, sort the pivot table from the largest to smallest expenses. Sort the pivot table, go to the home, data tab, smallest to value field setting. Smallest to largest.